We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Some of it you're gonna like, some of it you ain't. Tired of hearing fools complaining in barber chairs and beauty shops. By any means, you can't handle the truth.
This is Truf Bros TV. Let me clarify, I only date Rich.
Okay, Rich like.
It's pizza. Not sure how much dicks you can handle? No sweat. Because even our smallest dicks are 10 inches long. Pardon? There's a bunch of dicks at your door. We deliver. So get off your computer and eat dicks. For more information, click here. It's big and it's gooey. It's saucy and it's chewy. What's in my mouth? It's gotta be.
If you're not watching the Truf Brothers,
Then the truth ain't here.
Gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. And now, it's time!
All right.
All right, there it is. Truf Brothers. Truf Brothers TV. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a delivering edition of Truf Brothers. I'm Ray.
And I'm Devon.
We are the Truf Brothers. Let's start it all off with the customary getting your check-ins in. Say hi to everybody while you're getting your seats. And we're going to get this show started.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Pep. Gratitude. Thank you for holding it down for your boy last week, man. I was incapacitated as usual. Jacqueline,
hey, what's
as usual.
going
How
on,
are you,
Jacqueline?
Jacqueline? Glad you're in there, my boy.
And
Chris.
as you guys can see, what's going on, Chris? As you guys can see, we have a new sponsor.
There it is. It's big and it's chewy.
And it's very, very gooey.
You know what it gotta be.
I want to know how many of y'all on a day gonna tell your man, yeah, go get me some dicks.
No, I don't even want to play that game. That's not.
No,
that's
man.
not
Hey, they sponsors now.
That's what. So we got us a new set. Miss Bree Love. Top of the evening.
See, Tony, we bring financials to the table. We got new sponsors and everything.
Hopefully everybody saw the sponsors. What's going on, Diva? As Ray says, love that hat.
Yeah, she's rocking the hat.
Rocking that thing like.
So it's been a while, guys. We know it's been a while. Let's catch up. How you been doing, sir?
Man, I've been cool, man. Just working like crazy. Man, can't really say too much more than that. Just finally getting the weather break, enjoying the time I have. Man, just been enjoying life, man. Just it has not been bad at all. Can't complain at all. Tony
definitely didn't see the intro. She say that's fantastic.
Oh, she didn't see the intro?
Obviously not.
Oh. Red Summer.
Hey, Red.
What's going on? How you feeling? So yeah, but no, actually in all actuality, man, it's been pretty cool. I can't complain. Life's been good. What is there left for me to do, you know? But you, bro. What's going on with you? How you feeling out here in these as a winner yourself? How you feeling?
Sir, everything is everything. I literally can't muster up a complaint in the world. Not one complaint. And here we go again. Yep. Play it again. No, miss a little, miss a lot. We got a lot to talk about.
Why you going? Don't deny the people the truth, man. Don't deny the people the truth, man.
She say we'll talk later.
Yeah.
She just want to know if there's a franchise in Vegas.
I'm sure for her, yeah. I'm sure for her, there's plenty of franchises in there for her in Vegas. They offer them. Matter of fact, you can buy it in Vegas. I'm pretty sure you can buy Dick's Pizzas in Vegas. If I had to guess. I had to put something on the table. I say, yeah, it's actually I think they serve it at Chippendale. If
There
I'm
it
not
is.
mistaken.
There it is. Extra sausage on there, please.
Other than that, what's going
Yeah,
on?
everything has been good, man. I know it's been a while. We tried to come back after I got back, and we ran into some problems. But man, the wedding was nice, as you guys could see. There was pictures of the wedding on the intro, and everything was nice. Everybody had a good time, and yeah, my son took his nuptials. So
I saw that, man. Congratulations to Rakim again. Looked like everybody had a great time, man.
it
looked like everybody did. Looked like everybody had a ball and they enjoyed themselves. You look like you enjoyed yourself. You look like a proud pop up there.
Is that what I look like?
You look very proud, man. People who say you don't smile was probably surprised that you was just up there with the biggest $10,000 grin they had. You, it's beautiful because he's here. Like that's you look happy, man. You look happy, and that's all that matters, man.
Good, because with all of that, the proud pop and stuff, that is a great segue into our topic, because we want to ask you guys, what is good parenting? We want to know what you guys believe good parenting is, and the examples that we're seeing out here in the world today is are we living in the 21st century where anything goes and there's no standards to parenting? Like anything you do is good, is just good parenting now. Anything you do is okay because there's no rules anymore.
I mean, another question to ask that is, how can you be a good parent now? Because even though there's no rules, there are rules. Like, it's certain things you can't do to kids, or you're not supposed to do to children, or whatever, because anything you do will come back to you in a detrimental form. I've seen, like I said, we got a lot of stories we're going to get to later on in the show to further the topic, but it's to a point now is, what can you actually do to children? What's the right way of rearing children? What's the or is rearing even an option anymore?
So you're saying that everything that's considered old school parenting or the ways that your parents or grandparents may have behaved as parents is not considered good parenting no more. So you cannot use those techniques anymore.
I think it's a double-edged sword. I think it's one of them things where it's still effective, but it's kind of passe. I don't want to necessarily. Okay. It's something where it's like, because the times and the people and the education and the other things has evolved, you got to evolve we have to evolve past, this is the only method we know as far as discipline.
I don't know about anything being the only method. There was never only one method, but
there were people who thought this is the only method that you use as far as discipline.
And the people that stuck on the new method now feel like that's the only thing they can do.
Well, see, that's the thing. We used to crack jokes about, well, it was a lot of comedians back in the day that cracked that joke about white parents. Why do y'all just sit y'all kids in the corner? What the hell is a timeout? Like, there was comedians who cracked that joke that we were like, yo, man, what the hell? Nah, our mama hit us with skillets and frying pans and racetracks and extension cords. And then it's like, people will look at that like, yo, that's not necessarily healthy. And in hindsight, we probably can look at that, and Chris said, "Spread a rod, spoil the child." But in hindsight, a lot of people can look at that and say, yo, did it work for some? Absolutely. Did it mentally damage others? I believe it did that too, because it's a trained behavior that you tend to pass on to the next generation, and the next generation, and the next generation, and then it never breaks a cycle. So I think in most cases, you have to deal with it on a case-by-case basis. Now, like we're going to get into later on, when we're going to describe, does everything warrant a skillet to the head. We can get into that a little later on in the conversation as well as we get some people.
And we definitely want to hear from you guys out there. I'm not talking about everything warning a skillet to the head, but I do like what you said about the new parenting skills and everybody seeming to adopt the ways that have been presented to us, as we were told that our traditional ways are not good. I believe that it's a twofold effect. I believe the timeouts, in addition to everybody gets a trophy and everybody's feelings are warranted, and everybody should be listened to, and all of that. I believe all of that has created a combination to where I think things are far flung out of control because there is no standards. There is no guardrails. There is nothing that says, okay, wait a minute, that's going too goddamn far. Instead, it's, well, you got to understand what they're going through. You got to understand how they feel.
Okay. And I think, and don't get me wrong, I do understand what you're saying there, because that makes a lot of sense as well. I think that, but let me respond to that like this. Do you believe that that with the participation award and everything, because I believe that goes back to me thinking that the whole world is going soft. I believe that. That's the case too. So, but does that? The thing is, you also are dealing with now. Let me ask this to answer your question correctly. I'm sorry. At what age frame are we talking about? When and hypothetically speaking on what you were speaking on, at what age frame are you talking about? Between what area?
As in what?
As in, like, when we're talking as far as like physical discipline, because I think at a certain point physical discipline has to stop. So that's what I'm saying. Like, at what point? At what point are we talking in between as far as the age gap?
I don't know. I would say the stopping. I would say there's a technique to the age stopping. If you're a father, prepubescence is kind of where you need to back off from handling your daughter, but then your wife needs to jump in and take in on that. And then that's where prepubescence is, where your mother needs to kind of stop trying to handle the son because he's getting too big, and that's where you got to kick in. But I'm prefacing that by saying everything doesn't deserve an ass whooping. Before we go off that cliff, everything is not punishable by death. So when we're saying this, take it with a grain of salt. Nobody is saying that every time the vase come up broke, somebody has to die. That's not what we're saying. But you were asking around what age should discipline stop. I don't know about stopping, but I do know there's a point where the roles should reverse as far as who handles what.
Well, let me ask you this. Since we're just talking about parenting in general, is there a way that you can entitle a child without the child feeling entitled? And it's a reason I asked that question, but I'm gonna see if you can pick up what I'm saying before I elaborate on it more.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna put Chris' comment up. Yeah, called teachable moments. Yes, I'm kind of with that. Yeah. But what you were saying, I would say that you can indulge a child without indulging a child by there are no losers. There are only participation ribbons. Everybody's a winner. Now, I don't mean do that to your 3-year-old. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, as an example, your kid is old enough to join Little League, or your kid is old enough to join soccer. Not introduction to soccer, where they're at a young age learning how to play soccer or learning how to play t-ball. That's not what I mean. I mean when they're actually learning their positions, when they're actually learning strategy, when they're actually learning to compete. And you want to have everybody gets a participation ribbon or everyone gets a trophy and nobody loses. That's indulging a child without indulging a child. There are lessons to be learned from losing. There are lessons to be learned by telling the kid you lost or he's better than you. It's lessons. You're very good at basketball, sir. You're not going to tell me that you got as good as you were by just winning all the time.
No, I mean, you always learn more in a loss than you ever will in a win. Yeah, so I agree with that.
I learned how to play chess and checkers from my mom. And my mom used to mop the floor with me. So the first time I actually beat her, I was happy. But it was a legitimate, she didn't let me win. It was a legitimate win. The first time I played cards with my dad and I won, or played pool and actually beat one of my uncles playing pool, that was a proud moment because you worked for it. You earned it. And you earned it by losing a lot.
Yeah, no, and I get that as well. I think I agree when it comes to parenting is you need to let your child know that one, you have to be okay with letting your kid know that it's okay to lose. I think we entitle our children by thinking that nobody's better than you. You're the absolute best. Can't nobody do. I mean, now don't get me wrong, and I hate that I have to get a disclaimer. You do speak life into your children. You're supposed to speak life and confidence, and there's nothing that you can't do. But you have to tell a kid that you won't win at everything. And certain things, when you lose, you regroup and you go back at it harder so that it builds your character up. It builds your resolve up. Because it's going to make that skin a little tougher, which means character. Right. Which means it's something that you're going to have to learn. And it's also, like we would say, it's life lessons. Because there's certain things in life that you're going to have to deal with that you have to understand that you're not going to be the absolute best. And like you said, I'm going to get to Chris' comment in a second. I'm very good at basketball, but I know I'm not the best. Now, are there a lot of people I believe I'm better than? Yes. Are there people in the NBA I believe I can beat? Yes. But I know that there are people that I can't. I can give it a hell of a go, but as a realist, my people and everybody around would be like, nah, you can beat everybody. But as a realist, I know what my limitations are. I can figure out strategy to beat somebody, but the strategy just doesn't guarantee that I will actually win. Now, I say that to say, when it comes to children, and the parenting of children, I'm getting off topic a little bit, but I want to get to this because it was fresh into my head. I was out today, and as I was out, I was at a local at Wally World, Walmart or whatever, and I'm in there, and I'm watching this kid of a different ethnicity, and he was in the Walmart, and he was like, "Yo, I want this." Went and grabbed something, don't know what it was, took it to the mom. I want this. She says no. Homie puts homie says, I don't care what the fuck you said. In the cart it goes, right? Like, yeah, no, forget what you. Now, pause right there. As a child, do you think that's a form of disrespect or him just being, now, let's just say the age of this child is 6, 7.
Sure.
Do you think that that's a sign of disrespect or a kid just doing dumb, childish things?
I think it depends on the child and it depends on the tone that the parent has set. For me, as a child, there's no way I'd pull that on my mom, even at 6 or 7. I know she said you ain't having it. Now, that don't mean I'm just going to meekly put it back. I might be like, come on, you might pout a little bit. You might do that, that smacking of your lips. You might throw a little bit of attitude because you out in public, but you're not going to cut the food.
Right.
Is that fair?
That's very fair. Now, I'm going to get back to the story. Tony says defiance. And real quick, I want to read Chris' comment. I'm sorry, Chris. We breezed past it. I want to get to it real quick. I coached both my sons in Little League Baseball, and that everybody gets a trophy. I didn't like it. Me neither, bro. I'm not even going to lie. Like, my sons are in this stuff, and we'll talk about that later, too, because I got some on that.
Okay.
Get back to the little boy. He puts the thing into the cart, says, yo, this is what I'm getting. I don't care what my mom said. I'm doing this. As he's doing this, he slides off and then says, not only am I doing that, but because you told me no, I'm getting this one too. And put that in the cart.
Are you saying that he verbalized that?
He didn't say it, but it was, I know good and damn well you ain't tell me no. And not only are you paying for this mom, you're also getting his arch villain, the trailer monkey. I don't know who the guy was, but he says not only are you paying for this one, but you're going to get his arch villain too. Put them both in the cart.
Come on, Mooly, pay for my candy.
Pay for my fucking candy, right? So she's like, no, now put them back, right? Now, I'm with you. In my brain, I'm like, my mom more than likely would have said, not only am I putting this back, I'm probably going to kick you through the stands of where they were standing because what you're trying to do is embarrass me. Now, at this point, there's a crowd of people, and because after she said she walked back over there, and she didn't tell him to get him out, which is something I would have did, but she didn't tell him to get him out. She said, now, didn't I tell you that you can't have these? Now, get up. Now, she's walking up. I mean, not get up, but she's walking out. Homie says, oh, yeah, takes his arm, knocks the whole row down, right? So at this point, you ever had a moment in your life where you wanted to jump at a kid, but ooh, that ain't mine. Like, you ever had that? Because I had that
all the time.
Yeah, I was ooh, shit, that ain't my boy. Okay, my bad. Go. But now you're waiting to see her go, motherfucker did not tell, and then you're waiting on that, right? Now, 6 or 7, still 6 or 7. Because of his actions, 2 questions. First one, because of his actions, is she within her right to literally go, motherfucker did not tell you, bow to the like, don't do this. And now you've knocked a whole, you know how long them Walmart toy racks are?
Mm-hmm.
And this is gonna happen. So now I'm asking, and I'm asking everybody listening, was she well within her rights to give him an elbow to the head, or was an elbow to the head would have been a little too far?
Give me a yes or no, everybody. Give me a yes or no. And while they're doing that, I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way on God's green earth I'm having that. And I'd have snatched his little ass up and said, I will break your little goddamn neck right here in this store in front of everybody. I'd have popped his legs and I'd have been like, now pick everything up. And you got 2 minutes to do so.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, I say, and Tony says at that age he should know to obey. No is no. I hear that. I do hear what Tony's saying.
He knows what no means.
Yeah, no, he does know that no means no. But and I'm only playing devil's advocate here. Chris says the average white woman is not going to do that. Here's the crazy part, Chris.
Yep, and oh boy, I got a video for you after this then.
Wasn't a white woman. Today says I would have discreetly popped the mess out of him. I can understand that.
Yeah,
too.
And I wouldn't have been that discreet about it, because I'd have been like, no, you embarrass me, I'm gonna embarrass you. You're gonna learn it. You don't play, we don't play those games.
But here's the thing about if you do that to him. Security would have been called if it were me. Now here's the problem. If you go ahead, and because I know me, and I remember, I think I told you a story about when I went into the store real quick and my boy was in the car, and I'm like, hey, I'll be right back. And I came outside and they were not in the car. And I went ape shit. Like, I took them home and I went nuts. Like, I remember having, and it's like, but I felt justified. Like, I'm like, dude, not only did it was like, y'all disobey me, but you put yourself in harm's way. So that's why I felt like I was able to say, dude, you don't know what you got yourself into.
Exactly.
Versus him knocking a row of toys down. Now, don't get me wrong. I agree with everybody that said I would have elbowed the dog shit out of him. But my thing is, when you say I would have, when they say I would have discreetly popped him, now you got to ask yourself, now you pop them. You in a white class neighborhood, but to go to Chris' question, was not a white woman. Was not a white woman.
Care. I could care less.
But when it happened, it was like the lady just like didn't know what to do. And I'm like, what you mean you don't know what to do? Grab his ass by the throat, put him in there. But like I said, like I was getting to earlier, if you grab him by the throat, put him in there, now everybody's looking at you, and we live in an age where people are pulling out cameras and reporting you and recording you and sending this out to and asking the child, do you need help? And telling you what a good parent is.
And if you live with that fear, this is why we're getting the outcomes that we're getting. You can't live in that fear. You're the parent. You're in control. I don't care what somebody see. My child is not going to act like that. It's not tolerated. We don't behave that way. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do an attitude adjustment right here, right now, because it ain't going to go no further than this. I ain't got to scurry you off to the bathroom. I ain't got to pull you off to the side and say, don't embarrass me. I'll say that in the car. That's when you get in the car and say, you don't want shit, don't touch shit, don't ask for shit. Don't embarrass me in that store. Act like you got some sense. You're not going to tell me you never got that speech before.
Yeah, and of course, every kid that hey, don't touch the Skittles. You're not getting Skittles. Well, I hated Skittles. I'm just remember what that comedian said, but it's one of the things where it's like, yo, you know what's crazy? I was quicker to try to ask my mom for something than if I ever went out with my dad and it's like, I ain't even got to tell you nothing.
Yeah, no doubt.
It was like, I ain't got to say nothing when I get out this car. Like, you know what not to do. So stop. Like, it's a wrap. But,
see, Chris handing out DDTs.
Yeah, he out there giving the old Jake the Snakes to people. Tony says she didn't know what to do because she doesn't know how to discipline her children.
I'm going to agree.
She doesn't set rules and boundaries. I'm going to say this. I don't know what happens in that lady's home, but I do know the fear of being in public and like I said earlier, there's groups of people that I understand because I was about to dive on the kid, but I had to catch myself in mid, like, mother, that's not my boy. So I had to catch myself. So there are other people who are in this same store that are looking at her like if she, like, he's upset and he didn't get what he wanted. And sometimes you got to do this and sometimes you got to do that. And like you said, bro, it's not about how they feel you should parent because they're not in charge of your kids when you leave that store. They're not in charge of your kids at all, but you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. How old was the kid again?
6 or 7.
6 or 7. So this is my theory. When you don't establish boundaries and you let the kid control the narrative and control what you do, in my opinion, this is the result that you get later on down the line.
One day on kick. That's all it takes. Well. Oh, they all coming in. Get the chairs off me. Yo, y'all, come on. Come on. Take 3 people down. Y'all stand up. Come on, Jay. Jay. Yo, Jay, come on. Justin. Stop helping. Jay, come on. Move. Cut that down.
Now, all right, everybody, I want to hear from y'all out there. You explain that one to me because there was a parent there. There was a JD, come on. JD, stop it. JD. Now that's either her mother or her mother-in-law. How do you justify that? How do you justify that and not beat that boy's ass?
I'm gonna say this. When I first saw that video, I'm saying when that man kicked, when that man, what the fuck am I talking? I'm sorry. When that boy kicked that woman, that is that grandmother, and had time to stand there, pose, give his villain speech. Nobody
one kick. That's all it takes. Ha 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 ha.
Right, and the lady is like going with that, and he's winding up for the next kick. I'm like, with Chris, who the fuck is filming this? And
That's a
obviously
great
of a
point.
legit height, because they're filming from a downward angle, which means whoever was filming this was not a kid. Also, they knew enough to say, come on, JD, cool out with all that beating on the grandmama. Tony says that could be a combination of lack of discipline and or behavior issues. But either way, he should have been dealt with.
Yeah, I don't want to hear the behavior. I hear about the behavioral issues. It ain't an issue because the threat of getting your ass beat should counteract some of that. There's no way. I don't care how much of a slough you think this boy is. There's nothing that justifies attacking your grandmother. Nothing.
I don't know what that lady could have done. That's what I'm trying to like. What could she have done to him that made him say one kick? That's all it takes. And then you know the real fucked up part about it, bro. When she started to handle his ass, the other kids are jumping in to say, "Get the fuck off him," and she's like, "It take three of y'all for y'all to." Come on, man. I gotta. Hey Tony, if it is behavioral issues, and it's medical, why
he gonna need a doctor? I don't care. He gonna need a doctor.
Why don't he have nobody watching that boy and leaving him with the grandma?
I promise you, I'd have beat the 5 minutes to Wapner right out his ass.
Yeah, like it's. Dude, I only say that is if that dude that could not have been my son to my grandmother. To my grandmother, that couldn't have been a son to my mom. I could not sit back and like I'm trying, and I really need, and I'm like, let's just say whoever was filming it was, and I don't know who was filming it, but let's for the hypothetical, let's just say it's another one of the older grandson, or older granddaughter. Why ain't you
beating his ass too?
Why, if it's, let's say it's the uncle, why he ain't beating his ass? So there's no adult there that decided to say, you know what, this is kind of wrong, and I need to handle this boy.
Exactly.
But no, I'd rather film it. And here's what's fucked up about it too.
And type shaking my head.
I'd rather film it. Well, that was the people who was watching on live that typed that. Because they were saying, yo, help her. The people, here's the part I'm saying. You didn't. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You decided to film it and then go live. So everybody can see what goes on and watching them kick your grandmother or mother or whatever she was to you. You decided to let other people see these kids fuck up this elder. Now, let me tell you how that could go wrong too. Let's say there's a neighborhood of people who know who this little boy is.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say he stayed around our neighborhood, bro. Let's say you see this little boy walking down the street one day, going to school, and yeah, man, I had to kick grandma ass down the street the other day because she be fucking around. Now you're walking or you watching the vet, whatever you're doing, and you hear this and remember, oh, that was you. Do you go over there and say, hey, little motherfucker, if I ever do you do that?
Honestly, probably not. Probably not. You're opening up a whole nother can. You're hearing it third party. If you're saying that out of the benefit of seeing the video, let's just say he's walking out with his friends and you hear him talking smack and they laughing. It could be a form of humor to them. A stupid ass joke. Yeah, I kicked my grandmama down the stairs because that's how I do, and they laughing. But it could be a joke because it's dumb kids. You can't put your soap suds down and say, well, hey, little young whippersnapper. You can't do that.
Well, let me say this. Like I said, what if you know, like I said, what if you know it's him? And what if, like that, and I'm saying you see him because you know it's, what if you seen the video and say, damn, that's Derek. Little Derek.
Right.
Down the street.
Then you could and Derek knows you. Saying. Hey, little man, come here. What is wrong with you?
Right.
Why would you do that? Now, I get talking to him. I don't think you can beat his ass. I get trying to talk to him, but I don't think you can beat his ass.
I think the emotion of the situation will fuck with me. And we passed up some comments that Chris has said.
No, I hit him. Chris said that there was no real man, and there was no real man in the house to stop all of that. Some women would disagree. Some women would say the mama was supposed to stop that, or it could be dudes in the house. Look, we covered way last year one of those police shootings, and we talked about the stepfather showing up, and instead of handling the situation, he kicked some child in the head.
That was that girl who had the knife and was getting ready to stab the girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that cop got off.
As much as I want to give it to manhood, there's some dudes out there. There's some dudes out there who would co-sign that.
Yeah. Yeah. And like we said too, there are dudes who are okay with that form of filming shit. Tony says, what if he were a relation and you recognized him? Would you? Oh, it'd be worse if he.
Oh, that would be different. Right. That's my nephew. Oh, that's different. That's different. That's my nephew, and you did that to grandma. Oh, I'm choking. Hey man, if you ever touch grandma again, buddy, it's gonna be me and you. You ain't ever do that to her again. You'll go apologize. No, that again, that's family. That's something different.
Yeah.
And if me and his mama, my sister, my cousin, or whoever gotta have words over that, so be it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, because dude, if that was my cousin's son that did that to our grandmother and they don't rectify it, if y'all got beef with me, oh fucking well. Because dude, you don't, why are you kicking your grandmother? Why?
Exactly.
Like there's no, like I said, I tried.
And I see a lot of people stunned silent tonight. We want to hear from all of you guys out there. We got kind of like a two-way conversation going on in that chat room, and I want to hear from everybody else. It's no way that people don't have no comment on this. So get at us and tell us how you feel, because I have another one for you. I have another one for you.
You might as well roll that one. Let's get to it.
Okay, so we see the sun running wild. Let's go with a little more subtle form of what I think is a little disrespect. But I want you guys' opinion out there on what you feel about this one.
Can you pop this open for me? Yeah, I swear. Well, damn, do that to me. Do that to me. I appreciate it.
All right, be honest with you, broski.
Let's go.
I can't really fault that for what one, it's
That's
for the
your
person.
daughter.
Okay,
that's your daughter.
Okay, look, listen to me. Now, I get it. Did my daughter technically do something stupid? I would say no.
Really?
She just shook a pop can up and drunk the whole pop. Well, it was.
You know what it implies, though. No, we're not that naive. You know what that implies. You know damn well what that implies. I'll meet you halfway, just for the sake of argument. I'll meet you halfway and say, yeah, she did it for her boyfriend in the car for wink, wink, nod, nod. But she didn't film it and post it. But she did film it and post it.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm being naive. Maybe I am, but I chalked it up to dumb kid stuff. I'm just like,
and I chalked it up to she telling him how I take it in I like that pizza. I like that pizza. And not just the small, I like the extra large.
I mean, because here's the thing. The only reason I said it is she didn't open her mouth, put the whole pop can in her mouth, and say blah, 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 blah. I get it.
That wasn't the point.
It's like, to me, I'm going to be honest. I look at that as if a person was drinking a whole can and took a whole, that's how I looked at it. I didn't think, my brain didn't instantly go to penis suck.
Ladies, give me your opinion. If I'm out of line, I've got no problem with you guys telling me I'm out of line. I don't see it at that. I saw it as a subtle message, and I have a problem with you filming it and posting it. I have a problem with that. But just like if you send your daughter to college and she's at the frat party and they're shoving beer down her gullet upside down and stuff, you're cool with that.
No, I think not. See, here's the thing. That is Tony said, if you saw it online and she was doing what a lot of kids do, it's the boyfriend who was disrespectful to her. I look at what the boyfriend said.
I don't like the boyfriend, but what did he do that was disrespectful? Because all you had to do was open up the damn pop and give it to him.
See, look.
And don't get me twisted. I don't like the boyfriend at all. But I'm just keeping it 100. She chose to shake it up. She chose to do that because I'm showing you a skill. And I get it. Look. If you in the car and your wife do that, yes, I thoroughly get it. So it's the posting of it for me that's the problem.
I promise you, bro. I promise you, if I'm in the car and my lady does that, that ain't where my brain go. Maybe because I'm silly, and maybe because I'd be like, damn, you took that moment down, didn't you? Like that's all I would think. I wouldn't think like, that means dick suck. Like I didn't think she was ordering Dick's pizza.
Okay.
And maybe it's me. Maybe, and I would love for somebody to help me. And maybe
somebody else hit us up and tell us what you think besides Tony. What, everybody keyboard broke tonight?
No, I mean, I don't know if people out there, but Tony says that's a tough one because she did something that's not befitting of a young lady.
Thank you.
I get that, but here's the thing. If we had to guess, could we say she was like 19, 18, 19, early 20s? I don't care.
Yep, sure. Let's say that. Okay, cool. Let's say that.
So, she's not at a frat party. She's not around 1,000 dudes that's out there grabbing their junk, looking at her like, she's with her boy for sake of argument. Hold on. For sake of argument, she's with her boyfriend, right? She decided to, hey man, I'm drinking a whole thing of Coca-Cola in one gulp. Okay, cool. I just don't look at it at like, is she stupid? Yes. What did she offer a sexual innuendo? I don't think that's the case.
Really? So why did the boyfriend respond the way he responded?
Because he's a horny dude, and that's like dude, she could
So
walk
you don't
outside.
think that was the implication? You don't think he understood the assignment?
I don't necessarily know, because but we don't know if it was an intention of enticing. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if she was enticing him sexually, or if she was just saying, "Hey man," like it. I don't know. I don't know if she was just like, "Watch me drink a whole pop and take it all the way down." I don't know.
Cool.
Like
Jacqueline and Devon, y'all married, and you see what she posted. What conversation do you have with her, if any?
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't know. And well, go with Tony said he's being a horny guy. But
no, she elicited the horny guy.
Okay. Well, and Chris says she looked like in me and Jacqueline's case. I mean, Jacqueline's not naked. She's she's not shaking. Like I don't know, man. I swear. I'm like, for me, it's like it. I would need, in order for me to, like, case it's a video out now where
So woman. Do you two have a discussion on whether or not y'all should address it then, or do you let it go?
I would probably let it go, honestly. Only reason I say this because I saw a video 2 days ago, and I saw a video 2 days ago where it's from this part up, and a woman picks her head up with slob coming down her mouth and say, "If you ain't looking like this while you doing X, Y, and Z, then you ain't doing it right." And she goes back down and finishes her guys off. Now, with that, I'd be like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" Now,
so why does it got to be so blatant? Like, you don't catch the innuendo. Jacqueline said she would address it. I believe a conversation needs to be had. I want to ask everybody this. You go, and it's a birthday party on the block, and your kid is there. You go to pick your kid up, and there's Uncle Jackie over there, and all the kids are surrounding him, and he's shaking up pop and got them doing that. How do you feel?
I would think he was doing. I would not think Uncle Jackie was doing it to say, "Yeah, let's watch the perverts." I think Uncle Jackie was doing it to play a joke on the kids. That's what I would think. Like, I would think that he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna shake these up and give it to him and see, watch it blow it in." Like, I would think that would be the case. I would not instantly.
So you don't think it would be the suck the pop challenge?
I wouldn't go there. I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, no, I'm just again. Yeah, I'm asking.
I'm just saying maybe, and like I said, maybe I'm naive. Jacqueline said at the very least, it's not ladylike. Need to represent yourself with some respect. And Tony says I agree, Devon. It's like I would have to. I would need more, because I'm like, I can't say for everything that's like that it means this. I can't say that if a man slaps an ass, he's out here, like if he slaps his woman ass as she's walking by, that he's extra freaky grabber. Like I need to. It's one. The only reason I say it like that is because I look at what she did. I look at what she did and who she did it for. I would go. She said my mind would go there immediately with Uncle Jackie. I don't know. I just
see, and she's okay. So Uncle Jack, your mind go there, but you don't think that that girl had that intent, was transmitting that message to the boyfriend. You think it's the boyfriend taking stuff out of context?
No. Typo. I don't know what she was saying about that one. But okay. I think, like, only reason I say what I say, bro, is because, like, if we're talking about parenting, if that's my daughter, like we were saying earlier, I would ask. Now I would have a conversation with. She said she wouldn't think that immediately. about Uncle Jack.
Oh, okay.
I would ask my daughter, what were you doing? And I would only ask that because I'm confused, not because I'm saying, you know, that means you out here sucking. Like I said, anything a woman do, guys we have a way of making it seem sexual in our favor. She could be over there making a cake. Well, man, why are you making cake? When can I slap your cakes? Like we have that way of turning things sexual. So maybe she did it in the beer chug way, and he like, shit, if you can beer chug it, chug this. Now at that point, it's okay. She's chugging being.
You're saying that the boyfriend is more wrong than she is.
I don't think the boyfriend's wrong. I think the boyfriend was doing what a boyfriend would do with his girl. I don't think the boyfriend's wrong. I think he did what any guy would do in that situation. I just don't like. I don't think. But like I said, the boyfriend, guys, we know we have a way of turning anything a woman do. We have a way of turning it into something sexual that we can see that they probably not. Like,
glad you brought that up. Glad you brought that up. Let's bring up the next exhibit and tell me, everybody, what do you guys get from this one then? And this is at school. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's all innocent fun.
That's not innocent fun, sir.
It's all innocent fun.
There
was the teacher over there in the doorway. What good little students. I'm so proud of them.
There is nothing subtle about that. That is blatant, in your face. I know what's going on, nasty. That's exactly what that is. There is no innuendos. There is no, well, maybe there is nothing about that says, I need to dissect this a little more to see what they're doing. That is so blatant and in your face that if you miss that, you're choosing to. Now, I said this.
What discussion should happen in this case?
One, I gotta go to that school. I have to go to the school.
Okay, before you go to the school, what do you do with the kid?
Regardless on which kid it was, look.
One of them is your kid, but
no. What I'm saying is, regardless on which kid is mine,
right?
I will be honest with you.
Yes,
I'm upset with one way more than I'm upset with the other one. Now I'm upset with both.
I'm upset with both. I don't like it on pitcher or catcher. I don't like it.
No, I agree, because I'm like, but it's like, boy, what the fuck are you doing? Like that, what the fuck are you doing? I have to go to this school. I have to see this teacher, and I don't see what the fuck the problem is. I mean, I don't see what the problem is, but I have to see what the fuck the problem is, because I gotta know who the fuck okayed this.
No doubt. I will say the first thing I'm going to do is either one of them kids. I'm talking to my son. Unfortunately, the way I would have to talk to my daughter if she was doing that.
True.
You would have to talk with her, say it's not ladylike. I'm going to have to let him know, gentlemen do not act this way in school. Since y'all want to be, I know what someone's going to get on me about being PC and saying, well, then your boy just going to eventually like Dick's Pizza. You should live with it. Before we go there, I'm just going to say that's not how we act in school, period. That's not what you're going to school for. You're going to school to learn. We're not going to school for that.
You're way more politically correct than me because I'm not the way.
Whatever, because I know where that's going. So I'm just gonna say, nope, son, you can't have Dick's Pizza in school. That's not what it's for. School is there for you to crack them books open and learn.
Okay.
And then I'm going to find a teacher. Now that's a whole nother.
Liven it up.
We even listen. Yep.
Man, that video.
What you got with it?
Oh my Lord. Oh, I think you sent me that video before.
I did. Yeah.
Did you? Yeah. And that is the most disgusting thing that I think that I've seen on the internet when it has to do with children. Mm-hmm. But I think that, and I hate to interrupt your show, but I just had to. I really had to. Mm-hmm. But I think the problem is that what we don't limit children today of seeing in social media and on television, because that's learned behavior. This is not.
That's supposed to be acceptable behavior now. That's those boys exploring their sexuality and being free to be themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's disgusting.
It's no different than the sock hop in the 50s. In today's age, Fonzie can fuck Richie. It's okay.
Oh my God!
But now you're not being politically correct now, bro. So I'm confused.
It irritates me. It's wrong. I don't care. It's wrong on every level. The school is wrong. The kids are wrong, and that we've set up an environment where these kids think it's okay to film it, chant it, and all of that is wrong.
And the problem is that what I truly believe is that at some point, the parents of those children had to have seen that video and recognized their children.
Hell, they're probably the ones who posted it.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And that's the problem right there. The problem right there is you don't know. The fact that you don't know if the parents posted it. You don't know if the parents are okay with it. You don't know, and you can't say anything about it because if you do, you're wrong. If you do, you're getting called to human resources, or you're getting called for a dissertation meeting or whatever they call it.
Or you're getting canceled. Or you're getting canceled.
You have to be. If my son decided to get up in the middle of third period math, and the teacher says, "All right, y'all, we've been having a tough week. We're gonna unwind a little bit with a little bit of twerking." Now, that. Let's just say the white, because it was a white teacher, but we're not going to get into all that. Let's just say she said, all right.
It's just a teacher.
Derek and Kevin, show us how it's done. Now, I'm not saying she could have called Tiffany and Kevin. Even would have been bogus too. But let's just say for her thing of, I'm sorry, this is just me. Let's emasculate the black boys. Derek and Kevin.
They're dying to do so.
I get up here. I'm gonna play your little jungle chimpanzee music, and I want y'all to get up here and show us how it's done. And Derek said no problem, and proceeded to bounce his ass on Kevin. And she said, "Hey class, cheer him on." That's where my problem lies. Now look, Derek's stupid. Kevin's stupid. They're dumb. But at the end of the day, that teacher who didn't say, "Hey, what the fuck are y'all doing? Shut this shit down."
Yeah.
And get your ass back to y'all seat.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, let's end it off because we only got a few minutes left. Let's end it off with the coup de Gracie. You stay right on here.
There it is.
You've earned this one because we're talking about you went in on the teacher and how screwed up the teachers is. Let me show you the PTA in 2022. those were all parents at the prep rally. Go Knights. Those were all adults, all pay taxes at the school. Those are all role models.
I am
mortified. And you wonder why Derek and Terrence is stupid.
You ever seen something so stupid that all you can do is laugh?
I am mortified.
Get at me, family. Get at me. Get at me. I know I'm the bad guy tonight. I know it.
But see, but you know what I think? I think what unnerves me about that when you show that video is the fact that you've got all of these politicians, all of these school officials, educators talking about what should and should not be taught to their children in schools. You know, taking away
critical race theory.
Well, you know, you're talking about taking away curriculum or editing down history and all of these things, but it's okay for parents to be in a gymnasium full of children twerking, humping on the floor, making it, you know, all of that. And that's okay. We're in a confused world.
That's okay. Look, you know what? Next week, I think the Truf Brothers is going to get into your rights. We're going to talk about your rights. And the only pure right you have in America is you have a right to be a freak. That's the only rights that Americans respect. That's the only rights we all can agree on that we have.
All right, y'all.
All right, Sony.
Great show. Ray, take me out.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
See you later. Bro, if that's your wife at your daughter's school,
man, the snapping, the fight that's going to be in that house. And I'm not, you can call me what you want. Y'all can come at me. Come at me. Look, let y'all tell it Kevin Samuels is dead. I guess I might end up having to fill his spot. Y'all can say what you want, but that could be, if that fight go the wrong way, that could be grounds for a divorce for me. Because that is not what I want in a woman. That is not what I want. That's not what I want out of my woman to be as a role model in that school and in the community. That's not it. Now my son is grinding on another boy, and my wife is in the gymnasium grinding on the freaking floor, and I'm supposed to be cool with this.
Ooh, man, look.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Tell me I'm wrong. I will gladly hear it. And this is because everybody gets a trophy. And this is because we ain't putting our foot in asses no more. All of this. There's supposed to be, when you're doing something, there's supposed to be a thought in the back of your mind like, man, if I do that, man, my pops would kill me, or my moms would kill me, or my parents will kill me if I do this. So you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to do that. You know what? This is getting out of hand. I think I'm going to just call my parents and just get a ride home. Hey, Dad, I need you to come get me. What's wrong? No, they just getting a little out of hand. I need you to come get me. Okay.
I don't know what to say, man, because I remember. And
the teachers was cheering that on too.
Dude, I remember being in high school at a basketball game at a school on the south side of Chicago.
Yep.
And they had a a inner city celebrity basketball game, right? So these are all high school students, right? I had to be a freshman, sophomore at the time. And at this game, there are girls, there are guys, of course, whatever. There were radio personalities that were there playing in this game.
GCI.
There were local rappers that were playing this game. And in Chicago, there used to be a very popular male stripper at that time.
Chocolate Thunder.
Who was at this basketball game with kids. And I swear to God, this man was the dude who was announcing the game said under his pants, he told us he's wearing a silver whatever, right? And I swear to God, this shit blew me like fucking. I'm like, I remember watching a girl who was like 16 who knew who this motherfucker was, which I thought was crazy at the time because
that's Dangles.
Yeah, like this before the
that's
internet.
Dangles.
You could not use the internet at this time to look up anybody. You didn't know who people were. So either your mom or somebody came home and said, "Did you see Sweet 16 tonight?"
Yep, okay. He was at my bachelorette party.
Now
he's why I'm not married.
Now, fast forward, the 16-year-old girl goes to the dude and tries to pull his shorts down as he's taking the ball out, right? I swear to God, the dude looked behind him and said, "Shit, go ahead." Didn't give a fuck.
You're 16. You're going to get this soon. You're all right.
So now I'm like, now it was crazy because right when I saw that video, that's the first thing that popped in my mind. Like, yo, who okayed a stripper, a male stripper, to be at a celebrity basketball game?
Because he's a celebrity. He's a celebrity. Not local meteorologist Tom Skilling. Not him. Dangles.
Sweet 16. Yeah, I look, man. I just thought it was wrong. Look, if you got a buns in basketball for the adults, have at thee. If you got a dribble and dangle for the ladies, have at thee, right? But if you gotta have dangles at a high school where majority of the people there are not legal,
and one of them is trying to take your pants off, and you go. I'm going to say it again, and I'm sorry. I guess I'm old-fashioned. There is the adult world, and there is a kid's world, and the two aren't supposed to meet, and we keep clashing the two worlds. Yes, if your wife wants to shake up the pop and knock it back on your anniversary to tell you what's going to happen when we get to the room, I understand it. I don't want my wife posting it. I don't want my wife posting it. So why the hell would I want my daughter posting it?
I get that.
But we twerk in front of our children. Soon as someone hold up a camera, the first thing women do now is turn their asses and jiggle. They spend more time jiggling their ass than developing their minds. The fellas ain't no better. I'm not cutting out a pass for the fellas. The fellas are just as much crippled bums as the women are. We don't raise our standards. We don't demand more, and we don't demand more of our kids. We would rather be our children's friends than their parents.
I can't end that any more better than what you just said, bro. Oh, CC, we be on Saturday at noon.
All right.
Oh well, we can't. Oh, I can't wait for that one. Hopefully, I can. Oh man, I hope I can tune in to that one. Do you know a topic? Because I'd love to know what you're gonna be talking about. Twerking by the bathroom.
OBB did right, exactly.
But no, nah, bro. On a very serious note, I don't know any way to end that more perfectly than what you said about parents wanting to be their kids' friends, and this is why we don't have good parenting skills anymore. Because I remember that saying that everybody used to say, or every parent used to say, which I don't hear no more. I'm not one of your little friends.
I'm not right now. It is. I'm one of your little friends.
Yeah, so I don't know how to take that anymore. I don't know what's going on anymore. But at the end of the day, we have to we got to do better. And like you said, I sort of there's no way I could have ended it better on what you said. I'm trying. I don't want to follow it up because I couldn't have said it no better than what you said.
Okay. Well, then on that note, I guess we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. It's been a wonderful show. Thanks, everybody. We're back now. We're back for sure. Join us next week. Well, I think we're going to get into talking about your rights. Let's talk about what we feel our rights are and what our rights mean to us.
That should be another exciting topic, and especially with everything that's going on with men feeling like they have the right to tell women what to do with their bodies. And
no doubt,
do we have the right to tell these women they shouldn't be twerking at the school gymnasium?
Maybe we're wrong. Get at us and let us know. But it's been a wonderful show. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you guys next week. And, of course, we'll let you know that if you're not watching the Truf Brothers,
then the truth ain't in you.
Live long and prosper, people.
2 fingers.